What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to the long-awaited return of Breaking Down Battlefield 3. In today's episode, I'll be covering the specializations in Battlefield 3. I'll only be covering the specializations that are for a soldier and not the vehicle ones in today's video. I'll be covering vehicle specializations at a later date and in conjunction when reviewing the rest of the vehicles. I will be covering these specializations in order of unlocks, so that means we'll be starting with Sprint. Sprint is unlocked at level 2 and its squad counterpart is unlocked at level 23. Sprint across the board, be it personal or squad, provides a 10% boost to all run speed in the game. After competing in Project PTFO, I realized how important speed is in Battlefield 3. I highly recommend always having somebody with Sprint on in your squad. Sprint is extremely important to get to objectives faster than the defending or the attacking team in Rush, and it's a lot better than to get to closer knit conquest points on smaller maps such as Operation Metro and Grand Bazaar. Also, if you are playing an extremely aggressive class such as with the PDW or with the shotgun, you can run circles around enemies and they will not be able to follow you because you're running much faster than them. The advantage of having speed in close quarters is extremely important. And now that the Close Quarters DLC has been released, I always recommend putting Sprint on when on those maps. The ammo specialization is unlocked at level 5 for your personal version and 26 for the squad version. It provides a plus 50% boost to starting and maximum ammo capacity for both the personal and squad versions. Ammo is one of those extremely important perks to have on in a full squad because you need that extra ammo to go the long distance and stay alive longer. If you have a support gunner in your squad, it is not as important, but I always recommend at least having one guy with ammo, or always having one guy with ammo, because it is extremely important to staying alive through a longer course of the game, and you don't have to worry about kit switching when you may die in the process, or you may pick up a bad weapon by mistake. Explosives is unlocked at level 11, and its squad counterpart is unlocked at level 31. This is a pretty simple, straightforward perk. It only doubles the amount of explosives that you can carry and the amount of explosives that you start with. Explosives will only double the amount of shots you have for the engineer launchers such as the Stinger, RPG, and Javelin, and the support explosives such as the C4 and Claymores. Flak Jacket is unlocked at level 8 for the personal version and level 29 for your squad version. It provides a minus 15% explosive range reduction. Now, explosives have two different things working for them when they deal damage. One is their maximum damage and minimum damage, and the other one is their range. Range is the primary thing that affects how a weapon behaves that is explosive. When looking at an explosive range, it has a one-hit kill zone and a damage zone outside of that. The one-hit kill zone is reduced by 15%, making it easier to survive one-hit kill explosions, yet the damage that you deal on the outer ring is not as powerful, but it is still potent because it can still damage you a lot, but it will not kill you as easily. Suppression resist or cover is unlocked at level 14 for their personal version and level 35 for the squad version. It provides a minus 50% suppressive effect on your person. Now, suppression is extremely unique in that a lot of the weapons will affect you differently depending upon what caliber of the bullet they are firing. When you have a weapon that does, let's say, 7% suppressive effect, you have this minus 50% suppressive effect that is added onto that. So its suppressive effect will only be 3.5% of an effect on your character. It's a big reduction, and I highly recommend always having cover in your squad if you're playing competitively and playing to win and trying to be as most effective as possible. Suppression is unlocked at level 17 for the personal version and level 33 for the squad version. It provides a plus 50% suppressive effect on all enemies. That means if your weapon does a 7% suppressive effect by default, multiply that by 0.5 to get 3.5 and add that on to 7% to have a total suppressive effect of 10.5%. It is a very powerful perk, and I highly recommend using it on a light machine gun class to augment the already very high suppressive effect that the light machine guns have. It is important to note that if you are attacking an enemy and suppressing them who has resist on, these perks will cancel each other out and they will have no effect on the enemy who's using either resist, or if it's coming vice versa and you are the one with resist and they have suppression. Grenades, or Frag, is unlocked at level 20 and the squad version is unlocked at level 37. It provides an extra frag grenade to everybody in the squad and will give extra M320 shots to all assault people using that weapon. It is important to note that as well as receiving extra M320 shots, you will also receive the extra shots for the shotgun variants of the M320. It is extremely useful if using the buckshot because you can only get 4 rounds by default. By adding that and multiplying it by 2, you can have a lot of shots for an easy close range counterpart to an assault rifle that may not be too great at close range, such as the AN-94 and the G3. Frags is the final perk that I always recommend having in a competitive squad and a squad that you want to win the game easily. Frags is extremely important for keeping the enemy behind cover because that grenade icon makes enemies fear. They want to get away from that, and if they can ever get away from it easily, they will run out of cover. It's an easy way to pick enemies off, and if they're stubborn and they won't move from behind that cover, you can throw the second grenade to finish them off. It is also important to always be running this if you have an assault guy with the M320, because an M320 is extremely important for blowing down walls and getting to the objective quicker, and in conjunction with sprints, you can easily get to some of the objectives in Battlefield 3 quicker than the defense even has time to react. And that is it for today's episode of Breaking Down Battlefield 3. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and you learned something useful about the specializations in this game. Now next week I am not too keen on what exactly I want to do next, so any suggestions from you guys would be greatly appreciated. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. There are Twitter and Facebook links down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.